Good morning, everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Um, President of Ahliya University, Mansoor Alaali, Vice Presidents, Deans, Management, faculty members, staff, honorable guests. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to welcome all of you to Ahliya University's 7th Annual Research Forum. It is our tradition at Ahliya University to set aside some time to share with each other our research interests and publications. What distinguishes Ahliya University is the commitment of its faculty members to fulfilling our dual mandate of facilitating learning and publishing research work in referred international journals. Our diversity of interests as well as backgrounds enriches our university on the journey towards achieving excellence in pedagogy. This year, like previous years, we will have presentations from our students as well as recent graduates. We welcome all of you today and look forward to fulfilling discussions and debates on a wide range of issues and interests. May I have the honor and privilege of inviting Professor Mansoor Alaali, the President of Ahliya University, to say a few words on the matter. Please come in, sir.
First of all, I must welcome all of you to this annual research forum. Ahliya is our receive distinguished guests. I welcome you all. I welcome Dr. Farzana Harari. Really, basically, we can say in charge of research in Bahrain. So her presence is very important to us, and she sort of oversees what universities do, and we appreciate your work. We welcome all the people who are from industry and some of our PhD students. I think there is always an issue that we must look at. Do we really understand what research means? Do we understand what research is for? Do we make others, since universities are in charge of community engagement, if you like, or must play a role in community engagement, do we make others understand how beneficial is research to the university, to Bahrain, to our region, and to the world? We know rich countries have a variety of research types. They have what they call blue sky research, which maybe the results will come in 20 years, in 30 years. They can afford to do that. They'll put teams of research working on some long distance research thing, but they know it will have benefits in 20 and 30 years. Some countries, maybe less well off or have more immediate things to achieve, they want to look inwards and they want to solve problems for their country. But however we look at it, research plays a major role in the development of nations, in the development of individuals, in the reputation and ranking of universities. And I'm happy to tell you also, you already know, in the reputation and ranking of individuals. Hence you will see all these indexes, the H index, that index, this index. So there is the index for the university, there is the index for the organization. This is on the research side. We also know that research plays a major, almost 50% in the ranking of universities. So when the QS, Shanghai, Times, you will find that research plays a role in deciding your rank in the universities. And most universities lose their position, even amongst the top 10, mostly influenced by their research publications. I forgot to welcome Dr. Abdul Ati also. Dr. Abdul Ati is also a pioneer of research, and he is here also to give us seminars and talks about how to move. And we are establishing a number of journals through Dr. Abdul Ati from Zuhail University. Zuhail is the right pronunciation, right? All right, so I think as individuals, we must know what we are researching and why are we researching it. On the level of Bahrain, of course, in the National Research Strategy, they've determined 3 areas. But they didn't say you're strict. you're restricted to these. Excuse me, my voice is gone, and I have quite a bad flu. So if I don't sound very clear, it's okay. I mean, you should accept that for the time being. It's blame Georgia, don't blame me. The other thing is, which we have really thankfully, thank God, we have really succeeded at Ahliya of making almost every individual become an active researcher. And we have applied a policy of what we called embedding research into the curriculum. And we say there is a difference between integration and embedding. Embedding, I always say, like milk in the tea. It becomes part of it, part of the tea. So we have been working on embedding research in the curriculum in almost every course, especially at the postgraduate level. And this is why you will find a number of our master students are publishing with their supervisors through their research work. That's very important to notice. And of course, obviously, the PhD program with Brunel is adding a lot of value. Then I move to the next part, which is research funding. We've established a research funding policy where people can apply locally. It may be part of the 3% decided by Higher Education Council, but we're not limited to it. If we see a good project which will serve Bahrain, we will fund it. This is very important for you to know. So your role as academics, as you've heard me say it a number of times, is to reach out. You'll find the National Bank of Bahrain wants to know how their customers feel about their ATM machine locations or about their banking services. You might find that ALBA have issue with maintenance and they want some prediction. I'm just giving, samples out of, at the outset of the situation. So it's for you to contact these locations, these companies, these organizations. I was with the Minister of His Excellency, the Minister of Labor. He was outlining a number of issues they have to resolve. I'm sure if we talk to the Ministry of Education, they have a large issues because they deal with the public. So our research, as I said, number one is to serve our country. So let's put that our priority. Then we move to the outer layer. And then maybe we are now not in a situation to talk about blue sky research, which is in 30 years from now. But this is not to say you can't work on it. If you have a decisive theory, you can go and work on it. So this is very, very important. And so research funding, getting research funding, this is also one of, believe it or not, one of quality assurance and ranking organizations. They look at this. So we must take this very, very seriously. We have had a couple of successes. Dr. Dalia will list them. We had a few successes, but it's not enough. We should go and maybe we can work with the Higher Education Council, namely Dr. Farzana, and maybe look into a way of how do we approach ministries and society at large, and how. So probably she will. Very good. I'm just giving the highlight. Okay, very good. That's great. That's great. Of course, we have. I don't want to say too much. I think I was given 5 minutes, and with a bad voice, I think I should shrink it to 3 minutes. But I want to really go back to yesterday's event. Yesterday's event, which is the 100th anniversary of education in Bahrain. I attended. I listened to His Excellency, the Minister of Education, Dr. Majid Al-Naimi's speech. And I listened to His Excellency, Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa speech. He's the Minister of Oil. And I was really happy with what I heard. I was happy in that there are people there, they know what they want. And they know they're working towards success for education. They've learned from history. I'm just putting it in a nutshell for you. I can't go through all their presentations. They've put it in a nutshell. They've learned from 100 years of education. They've highlighted the areas of importance and how to move forward and the way forward. And I was happy to hear that from them. As somebody in education, you feel comfortable that the people in charge of education know what they're talking about and know the way forward. But a couple of main points were mentioned, and which I should bring to you, and maybe I will stop. I should bring to you. Both ministers talked about the different specializations that we should look at. The other thing, the Minister of Oil emphasized the integration or the presence or the importance of vocational training and how we look at it in line with academic education. And you know, there is the apprenticeship education, which I know the UK was successfully applying for many, many years, tens if not hundreds of years. They sort of shrunk it in the last 30 years. Now they've decided to bring it back. Bahrain, from what I heard yesterday, is looking at that concept. So we've looked at integrating practical skills into our curriculum, but we should give another look at it. That's what I think. They've really, basically, that's what they're saying. Otherwise, the market out there for our graduates might be slightly affected. We are successful in that, but we need to look at it even further. Maybe as a conclusion, really, I'm happy to say that Ahlia's citations have increased. Ahlia's H-index has increased. Ahlia's number of publications in high-ranking journals, A-star journals, and the Scopus Q1 to Q4 have increased. I think today or tomorrow we have the ceremony, and we are giving a number of certificates to people who have published in A-star and Q1 journals, which is really a success. So it means the system is taking its course. It means we are developing slowly but surely, and that's very important. I just really, finally, I want to say, select your topics, decide your strategy for research as individuals, integrate it with the strategy of Ahliya, integrate it with the strategy of Higher Education Council, and look at the scope of Bahrain, and then the next phase. Thank you very much for attending, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.